Hello everybody, my name is B. Kong. I'm with the National Volunteer Services team as a national recruiter, but in my spare time I also help with the training team. And this is our brand new revised curriculum, Serving with Cultural Competency, that we're going to be reviewing today and going over some of the changes from the original version and talking about how to best facilitate through some of the updated changes here. So I'd love to just really quickly have you guys introduce yourself and say who you are. There's a formal version of that here, but for those that are watching, we're going to go through an exercise where I'll be talking about the slides and then talking to the participants about what are some of the ways to help facilitate these particular slides. So if you guys can just introduce yourselves really quickly.
Okay, my name is Christy, and I am a Regional Volunteer Services Officer.
My name is Michael Smallwood, and I am the Executive Coordinator for Utah Nevada Region.
Great.
I'm Natalie Stafford, and I'm the Senior Volunteer Services Specialist in the Utah Nevada region.
And my name is Vicki Wilson, and I'm the Senior Volunteer Service Specialist in Southern Nevada and Southern Utah.
And I'm Daryl Maxwell, and I'm a Master Instructor in North Texas region.
And today, I'm your instructor for this particular course, but more importantly, I'm your facilitator. And so by no means am I an expert on diversity, but here I am to help facilitate the conversation that we're going to have about serving with cultural competency. And so you'll see right off the bat that this has been shortened from the original version, serving with cultural competency and embracing diversity, to keep it more succinct. And you'll see the theme throughout the changes of this course that we'll be talking about how we can serve with cultural competency within the Red Cross. And that's one of the major key changes that you'll see here. If there's anything that we talk about that goes kind of off topic, we do have a parking lot, and then we can always bring that back to the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. So just know that that's a tool here for us to take a look at. Reminders that, if you guys need to take a break, let me know. We'll go through the format with everything here, but just wanted to make sure everybody was there with that baseline. How many of you guys have taken a diversity class before in the past? Ooh, everybody here, excellent. So one of the reasons why I asked that, and this is a trainer-trainer break, is to get a baseline of who your audience is right from the get-go. So when you do this, it allows you to know how deep you can go into conversations if you've had people that have taken this that are open to it, or if you only get a few people that have raised their hands to say, that's okay, we're going to have a great discussion today and really kind of open your thoughts about this as well, and that we're all participants learning about this together. So it's one of the questions that I like to ask when you open it up to get a baseline for your class. Okay. All right, so here are some ground rules. These are the same, so we want to make sure that we're respectful, listen to what others say, that there's no speaking, no sidebar conversations happening, make sure your cell phones are on silent. Confidentiality, that with your experiences that you share will add value to our discussion, and that participants are really what make the course. Every class that I've taught is different, and by no means the size really helps dictate that discussion, but you as an active participant are really what's going to make this course thrive. Be open, really consider what you're learning and the impacts that you may learn from yourself and how it reflects in your Red Cross work. And these are some key things that we really want you to take a look at. Look for an insight about yourself today if possible. Listen without judgment and assume good intent, and then participate. So as a trainer-trainer break, these pretty much stay the same, and we can always ask the participants, do you have anything else to add to these ground rules? Is everybody okay with these? Make sense? Okay, and we can go forward. So introductions. So here in these introductions, I know we already had everybody state their name with the Red Cross, but this is a question but we want to ask each participant about what makes the Red Cross diverse. So if we can just go around everybody, and if I can ask you, if you said, what makes the Red Cross diverse, what would you say? Let's start with Christy.
So I think our partners, our network and community that we work with makes us very diverse.
How about you, Michael?
I think the ability to work in neighborhoods and having teams that can work in specific neighborhoods.
Okay. Yeah.
One that's always interesting to me is the different educational backgrounds, from employees to volunteer workforce. It really brings a wealth of insight to the work that we do.
Awesome.
I think geographically, because we're so large,
Yes.
we cover so many territories that within those territories there's going to be differences that exist.
Working on my spelling, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to go with that. American Red Cross is a worldwide organization with different people from different countries, different backgrounds, and
So as a trainer-trainer break, you'll see that this question was intentionally changed from the original version that we did. So the original version asked name a trait that makes you unique. And in some of the feedback we got, people sometimes had a hard time thinking about that on the spot, right? Because you may not think about that directly, but all of us are somehow connected to the Red Cross. So by asking this question, you're really thinking about the organization, and it's easier to kind of talk about that and try to get to it, and it ties it all back in. So when you're writing that, you really want to kind of get there. In the facilitator manual, there's also some of the same examples to include if you don't get a lot of responses there. Can you read some of the responses that's in your participant manual too, right? There's a couple of ones there.
Yeah, absolutely. Under activity 1,
Yeah.
we have experiences, race,
Right.
ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, marital status, parental status, education, physical abilities, family
Right.
work life, economic status, job level, communication style, volunteers paid versus unpaid, and then people who serve.
And the participant manual too, as you go through it, is a tool to help with the exercises too. So you can always refer back to it if people are having a hard time, to say, hey, take a look at these, have them write it down. And in some cases too, this is just another way for them to write down a little bit more about the guide themselves and write down what they wrote so they can kind of take it home with them too. So it's a tool for them to take. So that's one of the things that we changed as well in the presentation. So moving on to course objectives. So here, we want to appreciate the significance of working within a diverse workforce through diversity dimensions. This is a new talking point here. This is the same. We want to further your knowledge and understanding of the principles of cultural competency, bringing that whole theme back together. And this is one of the new key bullet points that we have here, to move from personal biases and focus on strengths serving together in mission. We really want to focus on your work within the Red Cross, and then that personal insight that you may learn about yourself, thinking about how you would reflect your work within the Red Cross and how we would promote the mission of the organization together is really what we want to get from the course objectives. So trainer-trainer break, this was really condensed from and changed slightly to meet some of those needs, so that people can see that we're tying this really back to the work that we do. And it's not just about participating and learning how to be diverse in general, which is always a great thing. But since this is a Red Cross course on cultural competency and diversity, we're always trying to tie it back to mission. So even in your own words, if there's a way for you to help connect the dots at any point in time throughout the entire course, that's what you want to do. Bring up an example if somebody talked about an experience in a neighborhood they went to on a DAT call. If that really helped their experience. If they taught, or there's a geographic differentiation between the way that things are done in this state versus that state, right? Those are all things that help make us up. So the more you as a facilitator can tie that back in, the more this is going to be more impactful for the work that we do. So any questions on this kind of introduction section to the course and some of the changes that we've made?
One of my questions is on the previous slide. There's a picture.
Yes.
Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, that's really good. So this is the Office of Diversity pin that's available, and it's diversity, values, respect, and it's just there to remind folks that that's a really good question if there's anything else to go with that slide, but I know it's diversity pin. I have one. Is there anything else in the notes that it says for that? You're just kind of curious about the picture? Yeah. I like it. It's a good one. We're going to keep it. We can thank the Office of, and they actually go by a term called ODIS, Office of Diversity and Inclusion Services. So they help contribute to this presentation as well.